My name is Christy Mershon, and I'm the Interim Director of Economic Business and Community Engagement here at Southeast Missouri State University. I came to Southeast in 1994 as a student, and I've been an employee here now for over 20 years. And like lots of people who have been here on our campus for a long time, I have my own personal paranormal story, so this is it. So in 2005, in my job as the Director of Continuing Education at Southeast, we started doing paranormal research classes just for fun for the community. And the St. Louis Paranormal Research Society came to Cape Girardeau to help us conduct some investigations within that class. So on Friday night, we would do a class that was like, learn how to ghost hunt with professional ghost hunters. And then on Saturday, we would go to a bunch of haunted locations and let people sort of try out their new skills. I bet a lot of you guys wish that that's what you got to do in your classes, ghost hunting, right? But in that particular class, one of the locations was right here in Rose Theater. So if you've been on campus for even 5 days, right, and talked about ghosts, someone probably told you a story about Rose Theater. And those stories were the reason that the St. Louis Paranormal Research Society was so interested in Rose Theater. So that night, I had about 100 different brand new ghost hunters that were spread out in locations around Cape Girardeau. And we were moving them from place to place using 15 passenger vans. Because if you do a paranormal investigation, you probably know you can't have a big group of people because you can't get evidence, right? So we didn't have any more than 12 to 15 people in any one location. And to do that, we had to keep switching throughout the night. So on one of those switch offs, I was driving a van and I had 15 people who wanted to come into Rose Theater and 15 people who were ready to go to the next location. And I pulled up outside, came in the doors, walked through the lobby, came in the stairwell and was kind of in a hurry trying to keep everything on schedule. And as I came running down the side stairs, I realized that my entire ghost hunting class was standing by the stage of Rose Theater, but they were taking pictures of me, which was just a little bit unsettling because this was supposed to be a ghost hunting class. Why were they taking pictures of me? So as I got to the bottom to where my group was, I was like, hey guys, what's going on? It's time to switch locations. And many of them had phones and devices. Now, one sort of quirky fact about Rose Theater is there is a lot of chatter. You can find a lot of people online who have commented. Cell phones, cameras, other things with batteries tend to glitch a little bit in here. And so half of the people had equipment that was dead. The other folks that had equipment that was still working had said that they could visibly see orbs surrounding me as I came running down the staircase. Now, I don't know how I felt about any of this personally at that time, but I was like, oh, it must be a trick of the light. A lot of times you get orbs in pictures based on, ambient light bouncing around. But these folks were adamant, all of them, that they could visibly see these orbs with their naked eye, and they were moving around me. The unsettling part was as they started to show and share the pictures, there really were little pink orbs kind of all around me in the photographs. The St. Louis Paranormal Research Society had with them a psychic. They had a Catholic priest, they had a psychic, they had a tech guy. That isn't a joke. They really didn't walk into a bar. Maybe they did. I don't know what they did when they left here. But they had a really interesting and eclectic group of people. And the psychic had been talking about getting very young energy out of this particular space and that she felt like there was a child. So the interesting thing to me about the orbs was that they were all around me, but at like child height. So that was just a crazy story. One thing that we do know about this space, and if you look behind me and you see all the electrical equipment, the paranormal investigators, there have been more than one group that have come here over the years for that class, have classified this as a fear cage. So if this is your jam and you're really into paranormal research, high levels of EMF, Rose Theater has them in spades. That doesn't explain some of the things that we've gotten on film. You can actually Google Rose Theater paranormal investigation and find some of that stuff that people have thrown out there, because there's some really interesting clips of like music that sounds like old ragtime music that seems to be coming from the stage area when there's no one in here. I even have a story that someone sent me one time about a group of students in the 1980s who were all theater majors and decided that on Halloween, the most awesome thing they could do would be come here to Rose Theater and do a seance on the stage. As you might be able to guess, the story didn't end so well, but it's a fascinating story with footsteps and apparitions and doors that blow open unexpectedly. So go out and see if you can find stories of your own, or if you have personal stories, share those back and you can become part of the haunted history of Rose Theater too.